I stared at my phone, my coffee growing cold beside me as I scrolled through Amanda's Instagram feed. There they were, my children, Oliver and Sophie, featured in post after post, their faces smiling up at her 2 million followers. Each photo was accompanied by lengthy captions about her journey as a mother and raising well-adjusted kids in today's world. The latest post showed Sophie, my 6-year-old, painting at our kitchen table. Another beautiful morning with my little artist. The caption read, #bless #momlife #painting with kids. Except Sophie wasn't her little artist. Sophie was my daughter, and that photo had been taken during one of Amanda's weekly visits to our house. My name is Lauren Matthews, and my sister-in-law had built an entire parenting empire by pretending my children were her own. It started innocently enough 3 years ago. Amanda, my husband Tom's sister, would come over every Sunday for family dinner. She'd play with the kids, take photos, help with craft projects. As a busy marketing executive who'd chosen career over children, she seemed to genuinely enjoy being the fun aunt. Then I started noticing little things. Friends asking why Amanda was posting so many photos of my kids. Casual acquaintances congratulating her on being such a great mother. At first, I thought people were just confused. After all, she was their aunt, and she did spend a lot of time with them. But then her social media following started growing. What began as a few thousand followers quickly ballooned to hundreds of thousands. She launched a blog, Amanda's Perfect Parenting, filled with advice about raising children, all illustrated with photos of my kids. How does she have time to raise children and run her marketing firm? People would ask in the comments. It's all about balance. She'd reply, these little ones are my world. I confronted her about it once early on. Amanda, people think Oliver and Sophie are your kids. She laughed it off. Oh, don't be silly. Everyone knows they're my niece and nephew. I'm just sharing our special moments together. But they didn't know. Her followers believed she was a working mom who'd mastered the art of having it all. Companies started reaching out, offering sponsorship deals for everything from children's vitamins to educational toys. She became a regular guest on parenting podcasts, speaking authoritatively about everything from sleep training to handling tantrums. All while my children, unknowingly, served as the face of her brand. I started keeping records the day I found Oliver's baby photos being used to promote a formula company. Screenshots, emails, text messages, everything that proved my children were being used without my consent. I documented every sponsorship deal, every speaking engagement, every product she promoted using their images. Tom thought I was overreacting. She's just proud of being their aunt, he'd say. And look how much the kids love her. They did love her. Amanda was fun and energetic, always planning elaborate crafts and adventures during her visits. But while the children saw their loving aunt, I saw someone building a business on a lie. The breaking point came last week. I was at the grocery store when my phone buzzed with a text from my best friend, Kate. Your sister-in-law is everywhere. Just saw her featured on parentingtoday.com. The article was titled How I Raised Two Perfect Children, Amanda Palmer's Guide to Modern Motherhood. There was my son's first day of school photo, my daughter's dance recital picture. Moments I had shared with family, now being used to sell Amanda's perfect parenting narrative to millions. I called Kate immediately. Have you seen the comments? She asked when I picked up. People are asking how she manages to be such an involved mom while running her company. She's literally taking credit for raising your kids. I know, I said, gripping my phone tighter, and I'm done letting her get away with it. That evening, after the kids were in bed, I sat at my kitchen table with my laptop open to my carefully organized evidence folder. 3 years of documentation, screenshots, videos, dated photos proving the kids were with me during moments she claimed as her own. I also discovered something else during my research. Amanda's company wasn't doing as well as she claimed. The marketing firm she ran was struggling, propped up mainly by the income from her parenting influencer career, a career built entirely on my children. What are you going to do? Kate asked when I called to update her. First, I'm going to talk to a lawyer, I said. Then I'm going to give Amanda one chance to come clean. The next morning, I met with Emma Chen, a lawyer specializing in social media and intellectual property rights. This is unprecedented, Sarah said, reviewing my evidence. She's effectively created a false identity using her children as props. The sponsorship deals alone could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can we stop her? Sarah nodded slowly. We can do more than stop her. We can force her to return every penny she's earned using your children's images. Plus, there could be significant damages for misappropriation of their likeness. I thought about Amanda's followers, all those parents taking advice from someone who'd never actually raised a child. I want her to tell the truth. Her followers deserve to know they've been lied to. That could destroy her career, Sarah warned. She destroyed her own career the moment she decided to use my children to build it. As if on cue, my phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. Coming over Sunday as usual. Have a fun craft planned for the kids. I showed the message to Sarah. She has no idea I know everything. Perfect, Sarah said, pulling out some papers. Let's make sure we have everything in order before you confront her. The next few days were a blur of legal preparations and evidence organizing. I told Tom what I was planning, showing him the full scope of his sister's deception. He was stunned. All this time, he asked, scrolling through the documentation. She's been profiting from our kids? Not just profiting, I said. She's been living a complete lie. And it needs to stop. Sunday arrived bright and clear. Amanda showed up at our door at her usual time, carrying bags of craft supplies and her ever-present phone. Where are my favorite little artists? She called out as she breezed into the house. They're not your little artists, I said quietly. They're not your anything, Amanda. She froze, turning to look at me. What? I gestured to the dining room table where my laptop was open to her parentingtoday.com feature. We need to talk about how you've been using my children to build your brand. Her smile faltered but didn't quite disappear. Lauren, you're being dramatic. I just share our family moments. No, I cut her off. You share my family's moments and pretend they're yours. You've built an entire career claiming to be something you're not. I never explicitly said. Really? I opened my laptop and started playing a video, her latest podcast interview. Her voice filled the room. As a working mom, I've learned that quality time with my kids is what matters most. I stopped the video. Want to explain how they're your kids, Amanda? The smile finally dropped from her face. I can explain. Yes, I said firmly. You can, and you will. But first, you're going to sit down and listen to exactly what's going to happen next. Amanda sank into a chair, her perfectly curated confidence crumbling. Lauren, please, my followers. Your followers deserve the truth, I said, opening my evidence folder. Let me show you exactly what I have. For the next hour, I laid it all out. Every false claim, every misused photo, every sponsorship deal she'd secured using my children's images. I showed her the legal documents Sarah had prepared, explaining exactly how much trouble she was in. The companies you partnered with, I said, pulling up contracts. They paid you to promote products using your supposed experience as a mother. That's fraud, Amanda. Criminal fraud. Her face had gone pale, her hands twisting in her lap. I never meant for it to go this far, she whispered. It started with just a few posts, and people assumed, and then the followers started growing, and the opportunities. And you just couldn't stop lying. I asked. Couldn't stop pretending my children were yours. I love them like they're mine, she protested. I've been here every week, been part of their lives. As their aunt, I cut in. Not their mother. I'm their mother, Amanda. I'm the one who's been here every day, not just for the Instagram-worthy moments, but for the tantrums and the sick days and the middle-of-the-night nightmares. Tom chose that moment to walk in, having heard everything from the kitchen. How could you do this, Amanda? She turned to her brother, tears welling up. Tom, please. You know how much I care about the kids. Care about them? He asked, his voice hard. You've been exploiting them. Using them to make money and build your brand. Did you ever think about what this might do to them? They love me, she said weakly. Yes, they do, I agreed. Which is why we're going to handle this carefully. You have two choices. She looked up, hope flickering across her face. Option 1. You come clean. Post a full confession explaining that you've been lying to your followers. Return all the money you made from sponsorships and speaking engagements. Sign an agreement never to use Oliver and Sophie's images again. That would destroy everything I've built, she whispered. Option 2. We let our lawyer handle it. The fraud charges, the misappropriation of likeness, everything. It goes public anyway, but this time with legal consequences. Amanda stood up suddenly, pacing the room. You don't understand what this would mean. My company's struggling. The influencer income is all that's keeping it afloat. I'd lose everything. You should have thought of that before you started stealing my children's identity, I said firmly. She stopped pacing, turning to face us. What about a compromise? I could say they're my niece and nephew, keep the brand but be honest about. No, Tom interrupted. No more using them at all. It's over, Amanda. She sank back into her chair, the full weight of her situation finally hitting her. How long do I have to decide? 24 hours, I said, sliding a business card across the table. That's our lawyer's number. Either you call her tomorrow with your decision to come clean voluntarily, or she starts proceedings. And the Sunday visits? She asked in a small voice. Tom and I exchanged glances. We discussed this part extensively. That depends on how you handle this, I said carefully. If you take responsibility, show real remorse, and respect our boundaries going forward, we can slowly rebuild trust. But it will take time. After Amanda left, looking shell-shocked and defeated, Tom and I sat in silence for a while. Do you think we did the right thing? He finally asked. I pulled up her Instagram feed one last time. All those perfectly staged photos of my children. All those lies about motherhood and parenting. Yes, I said firmly. She needs to face reality, and her followers deserve to know the truth. The next 24 hours were tense. Oliver and Sophie, unaware of the drama unfolding, asked why Aunt Amanda had left so quickly without doing crafts. We made up an excuse about her not feeling well. At exactly 3 p.m. the next day, my phone buzzed with a text from Amanda. I'll do it. I'll tell the truth. What followed was a carefully orchestrated process of coming clean. With our lawyer's oversight, Amanda posted a lengthy confession on all her social media platforms. She admitted that Oliver and Sophie were her niece and nephew, not her children. She acknowledged that she had built her brand on a lie, apologized to her followers, and announced she would be returning all sponsorship money. The backlash was immediate and intense. Her followers were outraged, feeling betrayed by someone they had trusted for parenting advice. Brands demanded their money back. Speaking engagements were canceled. Her perfect parenting empire crumbled in a matter of days. But something unexpected happened too. Some followers, while disappointed by the deception, appreciated her honesty in coming clean. A few even suggested she pivot her platform to focus on her real experiences as an aunt who loved her niece and nephew. 6 months have passed since Amanda's confession. Her marketing firm didn't survive the scandal, but she's slowly rebuilding her life, this time based on truth. She's scaled back her social media presence, focusing instead on actual marketing work for small businesses. Our relationship is different now. The Sunday visits haven't resumed yet. We're all still processing and healing. But she sends cards to the kids, and we send her photos occasionally with the strict understanding that they're not to be shared online. Last week, she sent me a letter. Lauren, I've been doing a lot of therapy trying to understand why I created this elaborate lie. The truth is, I was jealous. Not just of your beautiful children, but of the life you've built. I convinced myself that borrowing your family for my social media wasn't hurting anyone. I was wrong. I miss Oliver and Sophie terribly, but I understand why we need this distance. I'm working on being someone worthy of being in their lives again. Not as a fake mother for Instagram, but as a real aunt who respects boundaries and tells the truth. Thank you for giving me the chance to come clean on my own terms. I didn't deserve that kindness. Amanda. I showed the letter to Tom, who read it thoughtfully. Do you think she's really changed? I think she's trying, I said. And that's a start. Yesterday, I deleted all my screenshots and documentation. I don't need them anymore. The truth is out there now, and keeping evidence of Amanda's deception won't help us move forward. Oliver asked about her this morning, wondering if Aunt Amanda would come do crafts again someday. I told him maybe when the time is right, because the truth is, she does love them. She just needed to learn how to show that love honestly, without turning it into a performance for social media. The whole experience taught me something important about social media and parenting. It's so easy to get caught up in presenting a perfect image and turning family moments into content. But real parenting happens in the messy, unfiltered moments that never make it to Instagram. The midnight comfort sessions, the proud but unphotogenic milestones, the quiet moments of connection that mean everything but photograph as nothing special. Amanda's perfect parenting empire was built on stolen moments and lies. But maybe somewhere in this mess, she's finally learning what real family means. Messy, imperfect, but true. As for me, I still take plenty of photos of my children, but I'm more thoughtful now about what I share and why. Some moments are just for us, perfect in their privacy, beautiful in their authenticity. And that's worth more than all the Instagram followers in the world.